that place. So what was I to know of the fleets of ships that go to and fro? Before my time, the gist of the world was made, and everyone clung to their own before I came along. Therefore I wandered so soon in the cold, past temples whose glow enchanted without warmth to give. Then I saw that to give is better than to receive, as it means you're in the position to. I wondered and pondered, considered and thought, but others pounded shapes in solid brass of truth. Alone I shone in time, with mine I shine, and then I saw that all the story was of my own grand family.
Frozen lips on numb frozen lips. But you snarfled, and I said to myself, this guy doesn't want to be kissed just now. I leaned my head back and tasted post-nasal drip, which I always thought sounded like a breakfast cereal. We went skating on the ice. Right. Walking in the women's house, afraid to pick the rose with thorns. She could have been the garden, yet in winter she was born. She reached her hand into the flame, expecting her soul to warm. And warm it did, but it felt so bad to see the others unadorned. Everyone was looking as the flames consumed her heart.
This is when she died. From your hair to my you know what foam of time made me of you? I came through rivers sailing in the ocean of your womb, through storms and volcanoes, in between thunders, and found myself swimming in your island heart, towards you, towards me. The drumming of your heart beating hard in me. Does it matter much to know which drop belonged where? What formed me of you? Going through rivers, through waves. I mapped the rivers stained forever with a yellowing dust and the leaves of time that darkened our soul. I want to remember your arms around me. I want to remember los días, las horas, los años. I want to remember, were they ever there? Where? ¿Dónde quedaron? Trapped in the empty geometry of time. Tus abrazos sin brazos, only folded paper birds flapping their wings. And now I found your voice in my own being, an empty echo of you. Time grew old between us. I'm here today in this remote land with your forever death, pretending to be alive when death is near. If I would have stayed, I would have kept the same words. Does it matter much to know which ones?
Somebody asked on the massage school email list about whether the clinic was open over Christmas, and I was a little bit manic. Here we go. Hear ye, oh come all ye people, look up at my fingers, they're forming a steeple. This is a message from me out to you that I know exactly just what you must do, and I'll try not to sound preachy, but be rather useful to ye all who wonder what days have what number, and oddities such so bizarre we fear question, or beg for more info, or ask for a suggestion from someone who knows what they're talking about. No, not me, I know nothing, but to you I now shout. Try emailing the massage school using the form that shows on the contact us page as is norm. If you do wish Alexi to indeed get your message, this is the thing that I think was suggested to me one fine day as I sat and I wondered something about the semester which lumbered toward me ever faster, concerning me so, about whom I should pay and just where I should go to receive this fine bodily education, moving me way, way, way up there in station, societally speaking. I mean, if you'll stay with me one moment more while I fumble to say,
In less bizarre wording, just what you must do if you do wish Alexei to hear straight from you, the question you pose and to get a response. It's all in a form, and the form, though it wants more finesse in its styling, its function is true to the need once created by people like you, who had some odd question about this or about that, which demanded an answer, an accurate that. So go to the contact page, fill in the form, and through wires or waves it will travel through storm, and through hail, through wind, through most thunderous blaze, right straight to the inbox of Alexei Levine, who due to his passion for keeping his scene a smooth-running one that helps people who seem maybe tensed up or nervous or needing to dream of a place where they lie down as someone with training, provides them with something most of us could stand gaining, a feeling of quiet and safety and trust, where breath flows in deep and flows out as it must. This man named Alexei will answer you true. He'll tell you exactly what it is you must do to responsibly honor your duties while saving your safety as the most sacred duty remaining. This means he will answer you telling you if the clinic is open, or if it's a myth, the stories they tell of a holiday massage only made up for your fears to assuage. And what's that you say, you there named Richard, who speaks from afar yet is fairly convicted of dangers that lurk there beneath the laminar trough? Stay away from it, please, you shout and you cough. You feel a great danger, liabilities looming, all the while little somehow presuming you know what Alexei the man would have said had he answered the same question. You'd think he had read things the same way as you, but the problem, you see, is that you were not present. However, there were we who heard him on exam day give us this last warning. Be true to the trough, he cried. This is the dawning of a new age of deep, profound tissue massage. And if your client's aches and pains you wish to assuage, I advise you to focus your energies there in the laminar trough, where no one does dare to dig deep enough, no, not hardly ever, but more pressure there, better late than just never. This advice it was given, by sage it was sung, and then all of you left. There were stockings to be hung, and trees to be decorated, for it is, you do see, a holiday time not for both you and me, but only for those who chance to agree with this concept often known as consensus reality. This universe, to which I myself don't buy in, is quite popular still with most folks in their kin, having learned all their life that one thing or another would be there for them when they did what their mother had told them was that which was needed in life, to be a good father, or daughter, or wife, or husband, or son, or a sister-in-law. You see now, though, don't you, there's one big huge flaw in this vision of life, and I'll get to the point now. There's nothing but space between atoms that flow out between places and times, only showing when noticed, and otherwise flitting between worlds where poets and authors, artists and artisans too, not so unlike me or like you or like you, choose to live a life different from how you might know it. A different view is a different perspective. It's out there if you see it, but mostly neglected. Walked over, tossed under, tossed over, tossed casually aside while people go shopping with arms open wide, feeling pressure from all over the place and decide to keep up with the southern style fried, reteaching and telling of truth somewhere lied, of just what it is that we bought when we buy. So here's my holiday greeting to you. Use the form on the website, and to trough, please be true, because clients are needing that healing type touch so that people give feedback. They say it means much. So much indeed does it mean that they run back straight to the boss man, but he's got to come back for just about anything you could dream up. And so all good night. Now I will shut up.
Oh my God.
Poems I wrote I'll just read one of them now, but as a series in probably like 1995 or something. And I wrote them to poets, so this one's for Rilke. Of dunk, strength, and kisses, I was born to speak out of clay. My hands are talkers. They preach only to the wise and anonymous. A lightning smile stretches across the dark chasm between stars. Even mice get the choke. But you are not alone. You are with us, spirit. A matrix shift in a diamond sphere. Lollipops on bicycles off diving boards into pools of swirls. An energy source that swells between early AM and dawn. You are the mom on my radio, lost in the trees. You are the foot in the lumber pile, burned in my thoughts. The cloud of silk that stretches. The cloud of silk that tickles our fancy. And on time. The king is of solitude, The queen, she is of action. Between them, there is nothing to desire.
Mr. Nostalgia-Eye Kid, you love to work out the chronologies of us. I'm a hopeless tangle of knickknacks and mohair up there. You must be my diary, quickly before they're lost to the ether. Spending all day in bed comparing notes on Lou Reed and rewriting a list of times that we didn't meet. The endless days of us. But then came the first one, screaming and brilliant, filling every corner with sound and every minute with electricity, and we are transformed. 1, 2, 3. Then came the second one, calm and alien, in a dark room where when the world felt like it was on the brink. And I didn't know you. I didn't know who you were. I remember that. Now I can't recall the time before. I think you've always lived here.
Taking the V from Vita Nuova, we have what Celtic warriors had, the head of a truncated king, a head that still sings and watches with disembodied eyes as dead return to life in distinguished birdsong in the din of noon. Songs learned from Orpheus as his head floated through the sea, until the gods took pity and found him new life amongst the stars. We don't know the difference between a god's power and ours. Not holy body, not holy breath. We plumb the everlastingness of song, humming the private howl of death. In death a poet prowls, and using his severed head as a lantern, he dispels hell's gloom with his radiant brow.
Innocence, your bright flower, blooms to love's deep cup, the toast of history. Therefore we sing, we see, and commit every thievery. And masters of moods that ravage the mind, we fear both the seeing and going quite blind. And in lonely places inhabit the heart, with the sweet light of being, I make a new start.
late afternoon, long years ago, awakened by a sound outside my window, the rain would not stop. Next morning, the sun lifted one by one drops of steam. Out in the garden, 2 bees in love flew to flowers red and blue. She, so full of pollen, flew down to another patch and disappeared in space. He went on to follow. She was gone, far gone away from all what remained.
Anticipation, strangulation. There had been talk of a change. January brought rumblings, low mutterings over fences. Word traveled slow and steady, like the lump making its way down my throat. We all knew it was coming. We all felt the lumps moving down. By February, the township was trembling. The air, not electric like the movies, was instead like breathing into your pillow. Suspended aspiration for suspended aspirations.
Dashing away with the enemy's swords, but where is love's medicine? All because of the dance and the faraway sights, I close tight my eyes and sit up half the night, till victory rides with laurels and wreaths. And who have I hurt? And where will I go? What shall I defend when burdens block my view? The end, and how I waited strangely because of the workaday world and a moment where we stood so still. I was alone and fair and fabulous, stepped over fairly gaps in stone, charge up land and faith with bright light. Man, it is you who flashes into motion, ultra steady,
So my robes hold me, serene indeed.
This one's to Marquez. The peons are sleeping beneath the archways, while a mob's feet stamped over leech and garbage. Later, oh so much later, a transformed renegade parades naked through iridescence until finally parted fingers of autumn breezes have picked every last fig from inside once green leaves. A crumpled dollar in a marauder's hand might better tell the ancient history of a city rampant with officious vagabonds, so carved into for viaducts and ports of call. In a daguerreotype, her eyes and mouth have folded back into a many-layered and cracked antiquity. She's been popping tranquilizers since before dinner. A community of watchers is behind it all, echoing in its invisibility. When she passes, it in turn will pass into permanent visibility.
Two massage school poems. I received one response. Somebody said, "Wow, Jenna, I read your poem. You have way too much time on your hands, girlfriend." So I wrote this. Way too much time is a common misconception, and in fact the opposite is true. And I find it insulting when people imply that my mode of expression is a waste of good time, as I crumble from pressures from out and inside to keep up with this world where I'm forced to reside by those damn laws of physics, all joking aside.
I'm not sure who Cavafy is.
I read a poem to him. Or her.
I think maybe a troubadour poet.
Perhaps.
They were sailing back to shore, the entire and sole possessors of all the lights. When up from the sea came the many-headed council of rays, brought on by the orchestra of the sun. But when night comes with its own counsels, the boaters take to reclining. In a half-drunken stupor, the waves begin to speak. What they've said is transcribed in the captain's log. Flies buzz around the beer keg. Unfortunately, the salads have rotted. Smiles on these children's faces are particularly beautiful under the guise of moonshine. Prairie dogs feast on the grass in a field of sneezeweed flowers. Can you promise her the future? They wonder. In this painting now, I am looking at all these things revolve as if in a miniature globe of glass, thus undermining the painter's work. The poet, on the other hand, is hesitating on the last step, trying not to make a sound. And then the last one I wrote was for Pushkin. I whiled away my youthful days under evergreen trees in Buxton Park. The grass was mowed once a week, and the humidity was just awful. It seems we spend most of our days in a nighttime dream on Banaka Blast. While yet the cupids, devils, monkeys that climbed into our hearts made us more alive than we are today. The penitentiary, the four walls and ceiling do not exist. Only the smell of juniper or the dark brown recesses of a dark brown pine cone makes sense to the great stenographer caught up in the dream of the stars. It doesn't take a great logician to remember childhood. I remember you getting hung up in a fence. When the cops came, you were making out with a girl who thought you were as cute as a bug's ear. To me, you were like a prince. You were like Pushkin.
Yeah.
As our feet remain planted as they've always been, split between this world and that, we will rise from our knees, moving waters within, and then wings will sprout from our backs.
Oh.